The man who mows at midnight. Everyone in Hollowpines knows not to look outside if you hear mowing after midnight. But no one told me why. So when I heard it, dead quiet, then that slow, choking sound. I peeked out. Man was mowing my lawn. No headlights, no noise, just dragging that rusted push mower through the dark. But here's what's wrong. They don't have grass. It's all gravel. And the mower? It left perfect stripes in the rocks. Next morning, I found teeth in the pattern. Filed flat, tiny, human. The town says nothing, but every house on my street. Perfect lines. He's not mowing. He's marking us.
Hospitals don't fight to save everyone. Some patients, they let go. Doesn't matter if it's a fender bender, a seizure, or a bad fall. If the box is checked organ donor, doctors hesitate just long enough. Then comes the excuse: brain death, non-survivable injury. We did everything we could. But the organs don't go to the ones on the list. They go to Hollowpines. There's a facility deep in the woods. No signs, no staff lists, just shipments. Organs, sometimes. Other times, what's left of them walks back out, stitched together with something else. So go ahead, check the box. They've been waiting for you.
Everyone saw Carly in checkout aisle 5. Smiling, bagging groceries, normal. Then she blinked, and the sound cut out. No beeps, no carts, and just her and the cold hum of fluorescent lights. She looked around. The cashier was gone. So were the customers. So were the doors. Aisle after aisle looped endlessly, curving in impossible angles. The walls pulsed like they were breathing. Mirrors lined the freezers, but they didn't reflect her. They only showed versions of her still working. She screamed, no echo. Then the checkout screen lit up. Egg, bread, eggs, Carly. Over and over. Her name scanning like a product. Carly, Carly, Carly. When she ran, she ended up back at aisle 5. The lights flickered. There was another Carly there now. Same uniform, same face, same terrified eyes. One looked up at her. I made it to the back once, it whispered. It's worse than here. Now every new hire at Hollowpines Market has a name tag pre-printed. Every aisle has a worker. Some of them blink too slowly. Some never blink at.
He unplugged the smart speaker months ago. Still heard it click. Still saw the blue ring flash at 3:17 a.m. He smashed it last week. Buried the pieces behind his garage. Yesterday, his phone vibrated. No alerts. Just one file playing on loop. His voice, asleep, whispering, "They're in the wires." He checked the source. It wasn't saved. It was live streaming. The IP trace didn't lead to a server. It led to the attic. You ever wonder where the kids go? Not the ones on TV, the ones who don't make the news. It starts with a report, always anonymous. Maybe a neighbor, maybe a teacher, maybe no one at all. CPS knocks at the door, says there's concern. They never say who called. They take the child for evaluation. Paperwork disappears. Court hearings are sealed. Foster system logs are locked behind federal access levels. And that's it. The kid's gone. But here's where it gets sick. A whistleblower shared coordinates buried in a redacted CPS document. It leads to Hollowpines. There's no public facility there. No orphanage. No foster homes. But there's something. Satellite images show a perimeter fence deep in Black Hollow Forest. Thermal scans show movement underground. They call it the Haven. But the locals whisper another name, the Cradle of Dust, where children are studied, modified, broken open to see what grows back wrong. Some come out with eyes that don't blink. Some don't come out at all. And some talk through static now. The town of Hollowpines is off most maps. And if you try to drive there without clearance, you'll lose GPS signal right outside Crescent Creek. A final message posted by the whistleblower before they vanished. If CPS ever knocks, run. Don't ask where they're taking your kid. Ask what they're turning them into. When Ava's grandmother passed away, she inherited a crumbling house on the edge of the woods. Along with the key, she received a final message, scribbled in her grandmother's handwriting. Don't touch the attic clock. It's not broken, it's waiting. The clock sat in the attic, cloaked in cobwebs and time. Its hands hadn't moved in decades. They were stuck at 3:12 a.m., a time no one could explain, no one questioned. The first night Ava slept in the house, she woke up at exactly 3:12. Not from a dream, but from the sound of footsteps. Slow, deliberate, heavy. They moved above her bed, back and forth, back and forth. She climbed to the attic door, but it was locked, tighter than rusted nails in old wood. Every night after that, the steps returned. Louder, closer, like someone, or something, was pacing, waiting for her to come up. On the fifth night, the clock chimed. Just once, and the attic door was wide open. The air inside was freezing. Ava's breath came in clouds. The old wooden floor groaned beneath her as she stepped inside. In the corner, a single chair faced the wall, and someone sat in it. A figure hunched in the shadows, draped in thin nightclothes, with long gray hair trailing down the back. It looked like her grandmother. But Ava knew better. The skin was too loose, the fingers too long, and when it turned, the eyes were completely gone. Then came the voice. Not from the figure, but from behind her. Sit, it's your turn now. Ava's legs buckled. The clock ticked. And the attic door slammed shut. The house was quiet again. But at 3:12 every night, the clock chimes once, and someone new walks the attic. It was then that Ava knew something unimaginable was about to unfold. As the clock struck 3:12 once more, her heart raced with both dread and a strange sense of purpose. With each passing second, she felt drawn to the shadow, compelled by a force she couldn't understand. The air crackled with electricity as the clock chimed once more.
They called it Silver Hollow Senior Living. Clean halls, kind staff, a place for comfort, and quiet ends. But no one leaves. The brochures show smiling nurses and bingo nights. But if you visit unannounced, you won't see laughter. You'll see locked doors, empty beds, and faces that flinch when you say the word family. Tessa's grandfather was checked in for memory care. 3 days later, he was gone. No call, no remains, just a closed file and an apology. Natural causes, they said. But he was fine. Laughing, dancing, cooking for himself a week before. Tessa dug deeper. Silver Hollow is just one of dozens, quietly owned by a shadowy holding group traced back to hollowpines. Each facility reports natural deaths weekly, but the death certificates are vague, and the cremations, always rushed, no autopsies. She hacked into the staff logs. One wing of Silver Hollow isn't even listed in the public floor plan. The patients transferred there are never seen again. Rumors call it the organ room. Lights never go off, alarms never sound. Just wheeled stretchers and whispers from nurses who don't blink. Some say it's tied to the government. Some say the black market. Doesn't matter. Your grandparents might be next. Because Hollowpines doesn't just bury secrets. It harvests them. Tessa knew she was onto something dangerous. Her heart raced as she skimmed through the digital files filled with patient names and unexplained disappearances. Each click revealed more chilling details. Dates mismatched, entries erased. The deeper she went, the closer she felt to uncovering a truth so dark it could swallow her whole. With each piece of evidence she gathered, the weight of the conspiracy pressed down on her like a lead blanket. Suddenly there was a knock at her door. Her pulse quickened. She glanced at her screen. She had been traced. Whoever was watching didn't want the truth to surface. Tessa took a deep breath, steeling herself for what might come next. This was no longer just about her grandfather. It was about everyone trapped within those walls, and she was determined to expose Silver Hollow for what it truly was.
The caller ID said, "Me." Last night, a girl in Hollowpines got a missed call at 2:17 a.m. The caller ID said one word, me. Thinking it was a glitch, she checked the voicemail. It was her own voice, whispering, "Don't answer the door." 2 minutes later, someone knocked. She looked through the peephole. It was her. Same clothes, same face, but smiling ear to ear, like something wearing her skin. She ran. Police searched the house. No one was there, but the call log was wiped, except one message. "You looked right at me."
The clerk would slide a brass key across the desk. Burned into the tag were 3 numbers, 206. Jonas did not ask questions. He had no one to call, nowhere else to go. The hallway to 206 was wrong. It smelled like wet carpet and metal. The lights flickered in a rhythm that hurt his teeth. He opened the door. No bed, no lamp, no television, just a wooden cradle in the center of the room. It rocked gently. No one touched it. He stepped closer. The blanket moved. Something underneath shifted. Then it looked up. It had his face, bloated, smiling, no eyes. He turned to run, but the door was gone, just a wall where it used to be. The knob was missing, like it had twisted out of reality. The mirror whispered, not words, just the sound of babies trying to breathe. He froze. The cradle began to hum. A lullaby. His mother's lullaby. The same one she sang before she tried to drown him. He collapsed. Cold air slid up his spine. Something crawled across his back. It watched. It smiled. It knew his name. By morning, the room was empty. The key was back on the hook. Room 206 was ready again. As dawn broke, the storm raged outside, thunder rumbling like distant warnings. The brass key, enticing yet menacing, awaited its next victim. Who would be brave or foolish enough to return? The hotel lay silent, masking its secrets behind crumbling walls and whispered tales. Each guest unwittingly danced with fate, unaware of the history that lingered in the shadows. Ghosts of the past haunted those who dared to enter room 206, each one more desperate than the last. The clock struck midnight once more, and the air grew thick with anticipation. A stranger approached the desk, weary and unaware of the lurking horrors within. The clerk's knowing smile sent chills down their spine as they slid the brass key across, sealing their fate. Room 206 was hungry again.